You've got a killer online course, don't you? Or maybe you have a killer idea for an online course. But it won't make an ounce of difference how great it is if you can't sell it consistently. Yet so few people spend as much time marketing their courses as they do designing them. And some people even check out of the marketing process completely because they think it distracts them from the real work of creating courses. But what if marketing were just as much part of the real work as course creation? A friend of mine in the industry, Alex Mendozian, once gave me one of the best compliments I've ever gotten. He said, "Marisa, you know what? You're both a seminar leader and a marketer." And what he meant by that is that I put equal focus and attention on marketing as I do on facilitation and course creation. Because here's the thing. Many companies are either marketing companies where they're really good at extracting money from people, but they're not so good on delivering what they actually sell. You've probably done business with one or two of them before, and that's made you hesitant to invest again. But other companies are fulfillment companies where they're really, really good at fulfilling their products and services, but they're not so good at marketing them. And I really believe that you have to be both and do both equally. My name is Marisa Murgatroyd, and I teach entrepreneurs how to grow their business with online courses. From designing effective courses, maybe even addictive courses that get people hooked on taking action, to really launching them and profiting from them. But my first course actually sold zero, zilch. And since then, I vowed to myself that I would never let that happen again. It took me a decade, but in that decade, I've discovered 8 simple marketing campaigns that you can use to sell your courses, and I'd love to share them with you now so you don't have that experience of launching your product only to sell nothing. But before we get started, go ahead and just smash that subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss the content I've got coming up. And the more you hit that subscribe button, the more you like, the more you comment, the more you engage, the more I'm going to film for you. Deal? All right. So let's start with marketing campaign numero uno, the Give Them What They Want campaign, where you test and pre-sell your product idea with a survey. So before you get too far in creating your online course, you're going to want to validate your idea with your ideal clients, your ideal audience, so you know it's something that they want and are actually willing to pay for, which is why a survey can be your very best friend. And the first step in the Give Them What They Want campaign is simply choosing a focus for your survey that relates to your online course or product or program idea. Something like discover the 3 biggest challenges facing, name of your target market, when it comes to your topic area. So, for example, discover the 3 biggest challenges facing women in technology when it comes to getting a promotion in a male-dominated industry. Or maybe discover the 3 biggest challenges facing trade businesses when it comes to generating leads in today's online market. Or something completely different, like discovering the 3 biggest challenges facing women over 40 when it comes to losing weight. Now, this sentence structure allows you to name your target audience and your topic right away. You really need to make sure you're creating a survey that's not only going to attract and be relevant to the people you want to sell to, but also that the topic of your survey is aligned with the topic of your course that you want to sell. And after you've nailed this first step, naming your target audience and topic right away, there are 3 pretty simple steps that follow. Next up, you're going to want to send people to a group survey that gives them the option to leave their name and their email address so they can receive valuable follow-up information. And then you want to redirect them to a thank you page after they complete the survey. And finally, you want to stay in touch with everyone who gives you their email address by sending them the valuable follow-up information you promised. And then you can turn that initial momentum that you get from this campaign into a way to market your product by sending an offer invitation along with the results to the people who took the survey. Now, when it comes to actually creating the survey, don't get caught up in all the tech because it's super easy to use something like SurveyMonkey, Google Forms, or Survey Gizmo, or even check out Fiverr.com or Upwork and have somebody else create the survey for you. Just don't overthink this part. And then there's the actual survey questions. So you're going to want to come up with 3 to 10 highly relevant questions and draft a quick note about what your survey is about that you can post in relevant communities or send to your contacts. This is a great campaign to generate interest for your course while getting to know your ideal customers a little bit better, which is going to help you create a better course. All right, let's move on to marketing campaign numero dos, the Chatterbox campaign, where you get to simply show up and sell. Now, I'm known to say before you can make money while you sleep, you gotta be able to make money while you're awake. Because what I've seen is that so many people jump straight into trying to automate their marketing without ever actually talking to real people, to your potential clients. And you can't build a long-lasting, successful business without talking to anyone. So the core belief behind the Chatterbox campaign is that your ideal customers, they're really everywhere. And you never know when you're going to meet someone who could change your life and business forever. So you want to stay open to all the encounters that happen in your everyday life, as well as creating opportunities for meaningful connection. In other words, always be chatterboxing. I've got a deeper tutorial on the Chatterbox campaign in another video, so check that one out after we're done here. Let's talk about marketing campaign numero tres. And for those of you who don't speak Spanish, that means 3. And I promise that's going to be my last Spanish number. So numero tres is the Start with an Experience campaign. And that pairs nicely with the Chatterbox campaign because you get to hook potential customers with a taste of what you do. Just like in an ice cream shop where you get to try a little spoonful of the flavor before you commit. So the Start with an Experience campaign is all about delivering results in advance, giving your potential customers a taste of winning before they've even paid you a dime. Because once they've gotten value, they're more likely to want to pay you actual money. This is known in psychology circles as the consistency principle, and it's a key pillar of all marketing. Because as I like to say, marketing at its deepest level is the process of helping someone create the mindset, beliefs, and conditions to make a change in their life that they want, but they can't really attain on their own. And according to the consistency principle, we're a lot more likely to make future decisions and take future action based on past decisions and past actions. So if someone has decided to engage with you and has taken action, such as attending a free phone call, then doing something in that call, they're a whole lot more likely to continue engaging with you and taking action, especially if you can deliver some kind of results in advance. This campaign works best for brick and mortar businesses and one-on-one service-based businesses and businesses looking to fill high-dollar, high-commitment programs. So if you fit that bill, the Start with an Experience campaign is one of the simplest, easiest, and low-tech ways to get potential customers in the door. So you can pair a Start with an Experience campaign with the Chatterbox campaign. So what you do is you get out there and you chatterbox with everyone you possibly can, online and off. And then you invite the people who are interested into a very specific kind of free private session. That's your Start with an Experience session. All right, once they attend the session, you might sell them directly on that session or follow up with some kind of email campaign. And bada bing, bada boom, you can get a lot of sales that way, and it's super easy. You don't need a big audience or anything like that. It just starts with one person getting on a call with you. All right, now for marketing campaign number 4. I promised I'd stop speaking Spanish, right? So marketing campaign number 4 is the application campaign. And this is where you get to pre-qualify your students, clients, and customers. And what's great about the application campaign is that it activates scarcity and exclusivity. And it's a great way to qualify and enroll new students, clients, and customers. So basically, in an application campaign, you have your customers convincing you why they're the people you want to work with, not the other way around. So the questions in the application campaign are specifically designed to help your prospects clarify what they want, as well as committing more deeply to their goals and vision and increasing their desire to work with you. So here's how it works. First, you send some kind of email, text, or you slide into someone's DMs to an invite video or webinar that invites them to apply. And then, once someone applies, you review their application and you write to them as quickly as possible. If you do turn people down, I definitely recommend sending them some kind of free gift or resource to keep them moving forward because they may end up being a good fit in the future. Now, if it is a good fit, then you want to send them a congrats email with a link to schedule a call. If they go ahead and schedule the call, you jump on the phone with them. It's really one of the easiest marketing campaigns and works really well for all kinds of online courses and product types. Marketing campaign number 5 is the fast result campaign. How to design free gifts that build your list and sell your products. So in the fast result campaign, you send private social media messages like a Facebook message or a LinkedIn message or an Instagram message, and you send emails that invite people to go to an opt-in page for your free gift. You can also use paid ads or have strategic partners email their lists or put social posts out to their communities. Now, the idea behind the fast result campaign is to get the word out in whatever way you can. The fastest and easiest way, especially if you don't have a big network or an ad budget, is to message people you already know. And then once they subscribe, give them a free gift, along with an email nurture sequence that builds a relationship and provides value, and then pivots into a buying conversation. Now, as far as the free gift goes, you want something easy, something uncomplicated to create, and something that really solves a specific problem for the ideal customer for your online course, your product, your service, whatever it is you want to sell. Now, this can be a simple PDF report, a guide, a case study, some kind of handy checklist, blueprints, templates, quick audio training, quick video training, you name it. Just showcase your expertise and provide value that solves a specific problem for them. The secret here is to provide what I call a 5-minute solution, where you give someone a quick result that leaves them wanting more. So resist the urge to give too much in your fast result freebie, or they're never going to get through it, or you'll leave them full. All right, now marketing campaign number 6 is the perfect email campaign. How to win them over one email at a time. Now, the perfect email campaign is a series of emails, usually lasting between 3 to 5 days, that's designed to sell your online course, product, or program. Now, the key here is to make it crystal clear from email number 1 that your offer is only available for a specific amount of time. But before you start selling your online course or product, I recommend really nurturing your contacts or your list with value. Whether you give them value after a give them what they want campaign, or you run a fast result campaign, which we just talked about, the main thing is that you want to provide value before pivoting into a perfect email sales campaign. So you can also send some value emails beforehand to nurture them. In an ideal world, I recommend providing 3 pieces of value over a 3 to 7 day period leading into your perfect email sales campaign. Now, this value can be a blog post, a video like this one, a guide, some type of freebie like templates or a checklist or a combination of a few things. Now, the reason why 3 pieces of value is such a powerful combo is it provides 5 to 7 touches to build your relationship with your prospect and make an impression based on value if you include the emails or messages you send and the value itself. Then, once you've sent 5 to 7 value touches, you can start another 5 to 7 touches leading to the sale. So I dive into more about how to write an email campaign to sell your product in another tutorial here on YouTube. So give that one a watch after this. On to marketing campaign numero 7. Oh shoot, I said I wouldn't speak Spanish anymore, so that's number 7. The reverse webinar campaign, the low stress way to do webinars. On average, just 20 to 30% of the people who sign up for a webinar will actually show up. And that means with traditional webinars, you instantly lose 70 to 80% of your prospects, and that's no bueno. That's why the reverse webinar campaign is so powerful, because it takes the pressure off of having all your sales reliant on your live webinar. Now, the reverse webinar campaign is most often used to sell one-to-many online courses and group coaching programs and products, because you can have hundreds or even thousands of people on the line for a single webinar. It can also be used to sell higher ticket, one-on-one services, coaching and consulting, or longer one-to-few programs. But it won't work for everyone, because webinars work best when you have more people live online, because that creates an energy, a sense of excitement, a lot of response and feedback in the comments. So you need to have your own email list of ideally 2,000 to 3,000 people or more, or have some kind of joint venture partner who's willing to promote your webinar for you so you can get that critical mass of people that you need to sell higher numbers to. All right. So now that you've got a sense of whether or not this is right for you, let's take a look at what I call the bird's eye view, or the big picture of this campaign. So you send a series of invitation emails linking to your webinar registration page. Then once someone opts in for your webinar, you want to send them an email nurture sequence to build your relationship with them and get them excited for the webinar so they're more likely to show up. Then, when they actually attend the webinar, you want to make some kind of offer at the end after giving lots of value, lots of great content leading to the sale of your product. And then if they do buy the offer, they go into a welcome sequence where you start to deliver on your offer. Now, if they show up but they don't buy your offer, follow up with them using the reverse webinar email campaign. And if they register but don't show up, you also want to follow up with them using the reverse webinar email campaign. I usually recommend sending 3 to 4 webinar invitations starting 3 days before the webinar. Why not longer? Send it too far in advance and people forget the webinar exists. All right? Then once someone registers, you send them a confirmation email that reinforces the details, and then 1 to 2 additional nurture emails to get them excited to turn out live. Then after your webinar, you have the most important part of the reverse webinar campaign, which is why I call it the reverse webinar campaign. And that's the post-webinar email follow-up, which I recommend as a 5-day, 6 to 10 email series. This could include webinar replays with key points from the webinar, with social proof, testimonials, your product stories, a bird's eye view of the system inside of your program or how you get people results, the benefits of your program, case studies, all of that. And you definitely want to have emails that really speak to the common objections that someone may have to buying your program, especially in today's uncertain times, which can make investing feel a little bit scary. So the emails you send on the final day of your campaign ideally reinforce the value of your program, create a little bit of FOMO, that's the fear of missing out, and remind people that the deadline for buying your product is that day. So closing emails are typically shorter, last chance emails, and sometimes you'll see up to 50% of your sales on the last day. So whatever you do, make sure you take that email sequence all the way to the end, because that's where the payoff are. Just a quick reminder that this campaign is ideal if you already have a list, or at least a willing partner with a list. So if you're just starting out, you'll want to focus on the other campaigns I'm sharing in this video. And then, as you get a bit more established, I highly recommend the reverse webinar campaign. Phew, we're almost there. Just one marketing campaign left. And if you found this video valuable, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your own network, because the more you do that, the more excited I am to record more videos. Okay, now on to the last way to sell your online course or program, or really anything you want to sell. And that's marketing campaign number 8. The captive audience campaign, where you get to speak your way to product sales. Live speaking, where you're in the room with people, also has the highest conversion rates of any kind of one-to-few or one-to-many marketing campaigns, because your audience gets to really bask in your energy for an hour or more and absorb your message with a level of attention that it's virtually impossible to get online. With the right presentation, you can convert 20 to 50% of that captive audience into buyers. Of course, it takes time and practice to get to those kinds of numbers, and it's important to keep in mind that the first time you try to speak to sell, you may see lower results, anywhere from 0% to 20%, unless you have a natural gift. But hey, you can only improve from there. That's all part of iterating your way to awesome. So here's the basic flow of the captive audience campaign. You give some kind of talk or presentation. In the middle, you can offer your slide deck or a relevant fast result freebie to get the email addresses from the room. And then, at the end of your presentation, you offer the next step with you. whether that's your actual product or an invitation to get on the phone with you, or start with an experience campaign, or something else so you can enroll them into working with you. While being live in front of a room full of your perfect people is ideal, you can use this to amp up the engagement in your live virtual events too. And if you want 10 proven ways to boost energy, engagement, and excitement online so you can keep your attendees hooked from start to finish, check out my ultimate guide to hosting a super successful virtual event here in the comments. All right, there you got it. 8 ways to sell your online course or product right now so you can bypass all the overthinking, the overanalyzing, and all the trial and error that derails so many course creators and entrepreneurs, and start growing your online business fast.